Hello, colors. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we discuss on some interesting transfer news. We begin with seasonal Dest as the Barca defender's departure have freed up 2.5 million euros in salary margin, according to reports. We are going to discuss on that as we progress. Secondly, in this episode, we talk about Ronald Araujo as the Barca 70 million rated mainstay is set to miss his national team's World Cup qualifiers. So guys, as we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Barcelona recently confirmed Sergio Dest's exit to PSV Eindhoven on a season-long loan with an option to buy for 10 million euros. And the big question that continues to circulate, is how much space has Barcelona freed up through his departure? In this context, journalist Sergio Capdevila writes for Sport that the Blaugrana will assume half of the players' wages. The other half, as part of the contract, will be paid by PSV. Now, Dest has a valid contract with Barca until 2025, and if what the aforementioned source has revealed is to be believed, the right back's departure would have freed up about 5 million euros in salary space if PSV had assumed the full payment. But since it is not the case, out of the mentioned 5 million euro figure, Barca will be liable to pay approximately 2.5 million euros. So now it would be interesting to see if the 2.5 million euros would be enough for Barca to register the unregistered players such as Marcos Alonso and Inigo Martinez. The former Chelsea and Fiorentina defender Alonso is set to be registered alongside Inaki Pena and Inigo Martinez due to Barca's inability to comply with the financial fair play regulations. Why this has led to rumors of the defender's exit. It is not expected to be the case since Barca are actively working on achieving the target. If not with Dest's exit, Barca will now have to wait for Clement Lenglet to find a new team as he remains the final player to be sold this summer. Since the Frenchman has a much bigger contract, his departure would give the Catalans plenty of room to stretch their hands. For now, Barcelona have, taken the first step, which is to part ways with Dest, and with 10 days still left in this transfer window, the Catalan Giants has enough time to get things done. Of course, Dest was officially announced to be sold. I think it's as a loan move to PSV Eindhoven. After long speculations about the player's future at Barcelona, Barca have finally, removed his name from the paycheck, which better than nothing. Rather than keeping him and, of course, paying all his wages, Barca will now be liable to paying just half of the player's wages, which is, as I said, better than nothing. We know Dest's future at Barca have long been unbalanced. Xavi has never seen him as part of his plans. We haven't seen him even future for the Barca squad since La Liga started last week. He played some few games in pre-season, but he failed to make any impact whatsoever. And so Xavi Hernandez was pushing for him to leave, as well as the Barca board themselves. And with this report claiming that PSV have taken the player finally from Barca's hands, albeit a loan move, it's something to smile and be celebrating. As a player, in order to build his own career, will have to be playing regularly. Because if Dest is staying at Barca, I bet you Xavi would destroy his career because he's not part of the team. He's not even featuring for the squad. So Barcelona will be saving 2.5 million euros for fair play, and which will be very important because players who haven't been registered, like Alonso, Inaki Pena, Inigo Martinez, they can now be registered with the amounts that Barca have freed up from Dest's departure. So as it stands right now, Barcelona still have other areas that they need to strengthen. As we know, the right back is still not complete. Barcelona have been pushing for Joao Cancelo's move as things are looking positive in that front. As of course, the player is patiently waiting for Barca to conclude negotiations with Manchester City as things are going well so far. But I think the only sticking point concerning those negotiations have been concerning the purchase option as well as the loan fee for the right back. So prior to Dest's departure, Dest was the only natural right back that we had. But you ask me, why would Javi be putting Araujo or Kunde playing as makeshift right back when Dest is available? Because Dest is not playing in the system that Javi wants. And better than bringing Dest, who is the only natural right back, better you remove Dest completely out of the squad and put another player to play there as a makeshift, right? That tells how low Des was being viewed by the coaching staff. It was of no use for them. So, nonetheless, I think it's good news that Des has finally gotten the club because before this, it was so difficult. It was a worrying scenario that Des couldn't find a suitor. Barca were constantly looking for suitors for Des, but it was proving so difficult. But at least I've seen this PSV Eindhoven who came with an interest, and it's something to give us joy in our faces. Then, secondly, in this episode, talking about Ronald Araujo, Barca were hit by yet another blow last week Thursday when Araujo picked up a thigh problem ahead of the Cadiz clash. Araujo's absence will compound the problems with Xavi, who already has limited options in right back position. Given the importance of the 24-year-old, whose market value stands at 17 million euros, Barca are also likely to focus heavily on the player's recovery in the coming weeks. With that in mind, Araujo is all set to miss the upcoming international break for Uruguay next month. According to AS, Uruguay are slated to take on Chile and Ecuador in the World Cup qualifiers during the second week of September, but Araujo will not be available during that time, with Barca informing the Uruguay team that the player will focus on his recovery process. This serves as a significant blow for the young defender, who desperately wanted to be part of Uruguay's qualifying campaign for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. In fact, there is a possibility that Ronald Araujo might not be available before Barca's Champions League fixture, scheduled between September 18 and 19. Even then, Barca are unlikely to take any risk with the defender's fitness as they look to avoid aggravating the issue. Until then, Barca do indeed have a problem in their hands, especially considering the depth of the right backs in the team. Xavi Hernandez may have a serious selection problem. The Catalans are reportedly just a step away from signing Cancelo, who might join the club on a loan with an option to buy at the end of the season.